going, fellow traders? It's Magic Trader here, and this is the CFTC report for November 28, 2017. Here's a snapshot of the data that was collected. And let's start by taking a look at the gold. So, what's going on with gold? Well, last week we had 272,000 long positions and 71,000 short positions. And what do we see this week now? 287,000 longs. So big increase in longs and a decrease in shorts, pretty significantly. So much so that long exposure increases from 79% to 82%. And that happens with this candle of consolidation right over there. So price is moving to the upside and they add longs, right? Price moves up, consolidates. So that's basically this candle from Tuesday to this candle of Tuesday. So consolidation and they're adding longs. Beautiful. This is what we want to see. Last week what we saw was longs hardly being added to, but shorts being closed out, which caused this rally up here. Alright, so now since then we've seen some consolidation, some longs being added to, and even more shorts being closed out. So shorts are being closed out pretty aggressively. I mean, we were just at 76 a couple weeks ago, and now we're only at 62, right? That's pretty significant. And look at the coloration of the cells. Blue, very cooled off, right? And not as aggressive as what they were back in September. And you remember September was down here, aggressive with longs, right? Because we came from here to all the way up here. So it was somewhat aggressive. Now we're starting to slowly creep back up into that aggressiveness. In fact, 82% overall exposure. Okay, back here we reached 79%. Now we're 3 times higher than what we were over here. Excuse me. So far this is a great sign. Net positions increased from 201,000 to 224,000. So this is a great sign for that move to the upside that we're all expecting. All right. So this area is holding nicely. Excuse me. And the longs are being added to. So this is great. This is what we want to see. All right. Let's take a look at oil. What do we see with oil? They increased longs from 742,000 to 763,000, and they decreased shorts, just like with gold. And look at this, another increase, another point up. 83% of their overall exposure is geared to the long side. This is great. Net positions increase from positive 577,000 to positive 609,000 positions. This is just great. So that daily demand zone end up being enough to hold price and to propel price back upwards. This weekly supply is still in control here, so I am waiting for new setups to take long trades on the daily chart. All right, that's what I'm watching for. So the long exposure, you know, everything looks great for taking longs here. Really good. Shorts are cooled off, longs are aggressive, longs are above average, shorts are way below average. You know, very green cells here. I love this for longs. US dollar. So we're slipping more into bearish territory now, getting somewhat slightly aggressive with shorts. And if you take a look at long exposure, it increases by 2,000. But take a look at shorts, increased from 28,000 to 35,000 position shorts. Look at the coloration of the cells, very aggressive. Longs are cooled off. They've been cooled off since June. And look, we've been very aggressive with shorts. 59% of their overall exposure is geared to the short side. So I'm expecting this move based on looking at the data here, and plus the technicals are suggesting that. So, COT report is now starting to show more of that bearish bias, even though back here, remember when it was 50-50? I said there was still a bearish bias. The coloration of the cells are red, which means bearish bias. You know, even though it was 50-50, it was still bearish bias. So we never left this bearish bias since June. So, great use of the indicator. Great indicator. So Aussie, long exposure remains at 78,000. Short exposure increases by about 1,000. And that pretty much leaves long exposure at 67%. And we get a slight decrease with net position. So they're still holding that long bias, right? Still holding the long bias, and that's as we consolidate here at that monthly imbalance here. We're consolidating, and longs are still aggressive, shorts are still cooled off. So still looking for a break of this area here before I commit myself to long positions. Alright, so let's go to the US CAD. We see long positions remaining at 22,000, short positions remaining at 67,000. Nothing happens with the numbers here, still 75% geared to the short side. A move down. Net positions, negative 45,000. So pretty much everything is the same as what it was last week. And you can see this candle here, consolidation, not doing much. All right. What we do know is shorts are aggressive and above and below average, and longs cooled off and below average. Okay, and 75% of their overall exposure geared to the short side. So shorts it is. US Swiss franc, longs are aggressive. Even though there's a decline of about 3,000 long positions, there's also a decline in short positions by about 3,000. So what ends up happening is long exposure rallies up 2 points from 71% to 73%, and net positions increase from a positive 29,000 to a positive 30,000. So that happens as we drop right into this weekly area of demand. So reducing shorts, reducing longs. You know, it's hard to tell what's going on here. Monthly supply is in control, so the force of price to the downside. Even though we got this here, an increase in net positions, and they're at a positive 30,000, I wouldn't take any longs at this point on this chart. Euro USD. So long exposure increases by 5,000. Shorts increase by 15,000. So shorts increase by 15,000, longs by 5. And that comes as this candle rallies into the tested area of weekly supply. So the rallying price to the upside, and so therefore you see the long exposure increase, and then they increase in short positions. That could have been just filling in supply that was here. Filling in supply causing price to drop down, which we saw this week. But long exposure is 64%. Net positions is 89,000 to the positive. So bias is still to the long side. I'm still waiting for price to do that. Pound US dollar. Longs increase from 58,000 to 66,000 positions. Let me just get a drink of water here. And short positions increase from 58,000 to 61,000. Net result is long exposure increases by 2 points, and now net positions is to the positive 4.5 thousand. And that comes as we rallied up towards this weekly supply structure over here. So we got a little slight drop to the downside, which I was expecting. And now I'm waiting for new areas of demand to be created on the daily chart for me to get in long. But signs are very good since mid-September. That price is going to go to the upside. So feeling good about taking longs on this chart. US dollar, Japanese yen. Would we see longs drop from 166 to 150? Shorts drop from 44 to 39. Overall long exposure is 79%. That comes as we consolidate over here. So we're consolidating. Net positions drop from positive 122 to positive 110,000 positions. So shorts are cooled off. Longs are aggressive. Price dropping, stalling, and holding. So what do? Is there long positions to take? Not really. The charts don't show me any nice positions, any nice setups for longs. But the institutions are long biased. We can't deny that. So it's hard to say what is going to happen right now. If we looked at just the data, we'd say that there was a move to the upside that we're expecting. If you look at the technicals, it looks like it's going to continue a move to the downside. So because there's nothing really clear, I can't trade this chart. So we move on. With the Kiwi, an increase in Kiwi longs 22 to 23,000, but also an increase in shorts from 35 to 37,000 positions. Okay. So short exposure is 61%. Net positions went up about 1,000 to negative 14,000. So take a look at what I wrote here. During the consolidation period on the monthly chart, what we can see is that longs went from 20k to 23, so longs increased by 3,000, but shorts went from 13 to 37, so the bias is short. During this whole consolidation period, the institutions are massively adding short, so it looks like it's just going to consolidate and then drop like this. Alright, so that is pretty much it for all the majors. I think we got some news coming out this week. Yeah, we got the NFP on Friday. On Monday we have rates release for the Aussie, and on Wednesday we have the rate release for the Canadian dollar. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy the video, and until next time, have a good week.